Hello, Scorpio friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Scorpio August 2024 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. I'm calling the theme of this month for Scorpios Succulent Soul Retrieval, and we will get into all of the reasons for the short-term and long-term why I am putting out that theme for you now and in the time to come. This is for you if Scorpio is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Scorpio placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. And if you're a very late degree Scorpio friend, so birthdays like November 15th through the rest of the sign, or Scorpio degrees like 23 degrees to the rest of the sign, I suggest you additionally listen to my Sagittarius report, as your very late degree Scorpio friends will benefit from both readings. So there are so many things to talk about. I'm going to give you a quick summary of the things we're going to discuss, and then we'll get right into it. I'm going to go in order of time frame of how it can affect you. So the more mundane things, the things that will pass more quickly, I'll talk about those first. And then I'll build up to these themes that are starting to brew with the eclipse cycles that are coming. And I say cycles because not only do we have the Aries Libra eclipse coming back, we also have a new Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that will be very long. So we've got a lot of things to discuss there because that's in a great angle for Scorpio. So we'll talk about these things in order and build up to these longer term things. If you're a fan of having the visual reference of the chart, then I will be doing those at the end of the report. So stay tuned and I'll show you everything on the chart that I talk about here in the report so that you have the visual reference, and I'll let you know when to sign off if you're not interested in those visual references. Okay, so let's start with the more mundane, but still very powerful and very important things to discuss, which have to do with the faster moving planets and where they're congregating and what that can bring. We're also in Mercury retrograde all month long, so we have to talk about that and some general implications. And I will also be jumping back to this Mercury retrograde frame of reference for a lot of the things we discuss because it can put a different tilt on the things that we're talking about. This is Leo time. So from the end of July, into August, we have the sun in Leo at this point, and that's every year. But at this point, we also have star goddess Vesta there. We've got Venus there, and Mercury will soon be retrograde in Leo as well. We've got the new moon in Leo on August 4th at 12 degrees of Leo. So all of this is a massive amount of Leo energy, bringing a lot of vibrance, a lot of fire, a lot of energy. For water signs, this often means steam. For better or worse, like you're steamed at somebody, right? Because this can bring anger or aggravation or frustration. But it can also bring motivation, inspiration, and productivity. So you've got those dueling elements that don't naturally match, except for the purpose of progress, if you can use it that way. But you can have more chances for self-expression. And this theme of self-expression is part of this story of succulent soul retrieval that I'm talking about for Scorpio. My biggest discussion on that topic is going to come from the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that will be in effect from now and into 2027. But there are other layers of this story going on that's bringing it more current as well and adding layers to the story. Now, quick note, the reason why I'm discussing the eclipses now in August when they're not until September and October is because the eclipse season is 4 to 6 weeks or more before the actual eclipse. So that is covering all of August, that those trajectory shifts, that big news, that major information, that life-changing transformative occurrence, those all can start happening in August, or you might start getting clues for the types of things that may be happening. And so if I don't talk to you about it in August, you'll be having this time not aware of what the heck is going on, because you're no doubt going to start feeling this for sure, because it's brewing. If you imagine, like I always like to describe it like putting a pot of water on a fire, and as you start, it starts that rolling bubble. And then as time goes on, which time goes on getting closer to the actual eclipse, it goes into like it's bubbling all over the place and spitting and spraying and all of this stuff, right? So but the time in August is when it's starting to bubble. So it's definitely active, and you definitely will see information coming in. But I'll be jumping back and forth about the eclipses. I just wanted to give you that information because the energy of Leo is prominent, not just now from this fast moving energy, but it's prominent for a long time to come. And this has to do with your self-expression. It has to do with your soul's mission to express the awesomeness that's inside of you. Okay, so creative babies. This is, a big thing. The things that make you light up. I always like to describe Leo energy, which is ruled by the sun, Leo energy and the fifth house energy are synonymous because Leo rules the fifth house. So this energy is ruled by the sun. And I like to describe it, how I feel it in my body is like sunflowers lifting, my cells being sunflowers, lifting in joy towards the sun. Like that uplifting energy that you get when there's something that you really love, that you're really passionate about. And so your passion fires, are definitely getting a major boost here. And this can have to do with, singing your heart song. This can have to do with romance. This can have to do with robust expression of, caretaking for children and really vibrantly experiencing parenthood, or just seeing the life through the lens of the wonder of a child, which I always like to describe that too, because, when we look at life through how a kid is experiencing it, it's really cool. And this is that type of energy where you can see things in a totally different way, just all of a sudden. Now, specifically for Scorpio, Leo energy lights up your work and career sector. So be expecting work, career, employment, your place out in the world. If you're not employed or you're retired, this can have to do with passion projects. This can have to do with just how you conduct yourself out in the world, your interface with everybody else. So this can be big work decisions, big work moves, or information. Now, when I say moves, remember that we're in Mercury retrograde. Okay, so here's where we have to add that lens. And I'll give you the dates for that. July 17th, we start the process of fading into the shadow period before Mercury retrograde. So from July 17th through August 4th, we're kind of going down, 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 down into that space. August 4th through August 28th, we're actually in the retrograde. And those days around the 4th and the 28th are more hectic and more wild with energy. Sometimes people think, oh, it's August 29th. That means, it's direct. Well, yeah, maybe technically, but things tend to be more haywire. Like when you're making a U-turn and you get back going in the flow of traffic, there's that awkwardness where you're not up to speed yet. That's what it's like in that time. So, there's that. So then from August 28th through September 12th, you're basically getting back up to speed in the lane, going back how you were going before the retrograde. So that means the energy is rolling in. That means the tides are coming onto the shore. That means anything you try to put out into the world will float back up on the shore anyway. So if you're trying to do something long term, if you're trying to do something with definitiveness, with certainty, with clarity, with permanence, August is not your month for that. Now, it's also important to know that September and October may bring major, major news. And that news can flavor what you would have decided to do in August. So as you have information coming to you, just know that you don't have all the information yet. And the less reactive you can be and the more kind of patiently responsive with short-term responses, like, flexible bridges. Like let's say you have to move. Well, instead of making a big move, you can go to a place where you may, month to month for a while or something until the energies clarify, because that's just kind of what it's like. So all of that's happening. So now when it comes to this energy lighting up your workspace, if you need a job and it comes in August, take it. You don't have to say no. If you need it, take it. But do know that things may change. Those changes might not be bad. It could be that you get a job and you wind up in a different division within 6 months or something. And you didn't continue in the same position that you started in. That's fine. It could be, it turns out to be shorter term than you thought. If you need a bridge job, this is a great time for that, like something to hold you over while you're trying to get something better. All of those things are good here. But it will be active. The questions will come up. The topics will come up. And since Mercury is also going to be retrograde there, we've got the Sun, Star Goddess Vesta, Venus, Mercury in retrograde in Leo, and the new moon on August 4th, all happening together. And that Mercury retrograde is really going to bring things back from the past, possibilities from the past, ideas from the past, in any area of life, but especially in your work sector, especially in your creativity sector, opportunities to get back to creative projects, opportunities to unite your creative projects with your work and merge those two things. All of that may come up in a big way. Now, and all of this can be part of your succulent soul retrieval, because this Leo energy, is really about finding those places where your soul has been lost and finding it through the expression. Now, as the Sun and Venus get back or get into Virgo, that's going to change the energy of the month. So as the month goes on, it's going to go from all this fire, to this dedication, to this focus, to this routine, to, your day-to-day mundane things that have to be done. And fortunately for Scorpio, though, those energies are actually really good for you. They're 60-degree angles. So they bring structure. Earth brings form to the water. And that's why when we have Earth transits, water aspect or water placements can really benefit, because there's more of a security, there's more of a certainty, there's more of a direction, there's more of a clarity to your flow, more of a definition to your flow, held by the Earth there. So you'll be feeling that. And if you need more discipline, or you need to persevere with something, as the month goes on, you'll have that. And as it comes, all of these Virgo energies come, they will light up your house of friends. So you may have social opportunities, social media. This is technology. This is groups. You may find people that speak your language, or get involved with groups, virtual or in person, that you can really, really feel like you're part of something greater, like your soul tribe. So all of that is happening. Okay, so those are the more mundane things. Let's talk about this blue moon, super moon, full moon, August 19th at 27 degrees Aquarius, because that is a really big one. There are 3 different definitions that I know of for what makes a blue moon. And so it's kind of interesting that in July and August, we actually have 2 blue moons in a row, but they have different definitions for their blue moon. So if you followed my work, you know that I was talking about in the July report, we had a blue moon on the days around the 21st, and that was in Capricorn. One definition of what makes a blue moon is a second full moon in a zodiac sign. So that's what that one was. It was the second Capricorn full moon. Then another definition is a second full moon in a calendar month. A third definition is an astronomical seasonal blue moon, which is the third full moon in a series of 4 between summer solstice and the equinox, fall equinox. So that's the one that's happening in August. And it is a supermoon, so it will be closer to the Earth. That means our experience of it will be more intense, for better or worse. It could be longer lasting. These are 33-month, flows that happen usually between this type of full moon. And so that's happening now. It's a very big deal. And the sky will be lit up with this very large moon. It will look bigger than, usual moons do as well. So fullness, completion, fruition, drama, coming to the energy of what I just talked about, where Virgo is passing through the 11th house. And that is, so Virgo is passing through your 11th house, but the full moon is happening in the sign of Aquarius, which rules the 11th house. Again, if you're interested in the visuals, I'll show you this on the chart later to make it less confusing. But so you may see fullness and completion drama come, to the friendships, there may be something coming to a culmination, something being elucidated in that space, or maybe a project or something you've been working on may just naturally start to be ready. As I said, it's not the best time for launches if it's in your hands, because anything you launch, the tides will kind of bring right back to you. But it doesn't mean that you can't have many successes along the way. And it's all a really great time for periodic launches, or something like a promo, or something, where you go back to old people who were interested in something and you promote that to them. It can be really great for promotions, especially to people that you already know. That fullness, completion, fruition, drama, for better or worse, elucidation is going to be happening for Scorpios in the house of home and family. So, something with a housing situation, something with a home, something with a family member, something could be brewing, or news could be coming in, or something of significance can be occurring. A once in a blue moon type of thing, a once in a blue moon opportunity, a once in a blue moon experience. Something like that is brewing in your home sector. If you're trying to sell a home, it could go for sale now. If you're trying to buy a home, all of the things might start to be lining up for something notable to happen in that area. Okay, so the 2 things we now have, actually, I'm just going to touch on Jupiter, and then we'll go into the eclipses. So Jupiter is moving through Gemini from May 2024 through June 2025. For Scorpios, this is enhancing your house of Scorpio. I am, trying to mention this regularly because it is new, and it is important. This can bring you great luck in money and great expansion to your finances. This can bring you inheritances and sweepstakes and lotto winnings. It can bring you government money or other resources. If you need money from somewhere, if you need a loan, if you're trying to get something, capital of some kind, this can help. It can also make you get into more debt if your spending is off, or it can help you to pay off debt. You know, it just brings that type of energy. It can also be amazing for deepening your spiritual growth and expanding your psychological development and discoveries. Okay, so let's go into the Aries Libra eclipse cycle and the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle, because both of these are happening now. So 2023 to 2025, we've got Aries Libra eclipse cycle. This has to do with me versus we. You know, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people is under major change. Things are getting shuffled around. Maybe you're getting more independent. Maybe you're merging more into relationship. Maybe there's a little bit more of both. But this is the storyline, and those topics will be coming back up very strongly August, September, October, into November. And you'll see like a movement along the lines of a deepening of or a changing of the way you relate to other people. For some people, you'll go in deeper. For some people, you'll break alliances. For some people, you have new people come in, you know, there, or you might broaden the types of relationships that you have with the people that are already there. So this is ongoing. Now, for Scorpio specifically, this has been highlighting your 6th and 12th houses, which is interesting because the fields of experience that rule the 6th and 12th houses are also the same energies of Pisces and Virgo, which is the new eclipse cycle. So now you're going to be getting this double fold, what I'm about to describe. The polarities between Pisces, Virgo, you're getting from the house placements of the Aries Libra, and you're getting from the sign placements of the Pisces Virgo, which runs from now until 2027. So this has to do with your health versus chaos or not health. This has to do with discipline versus, you know, lack of discipline. It has to do with order and structure versus, you know, complete abstract energies. It has to do with health and wellness of your body and health and wellness of your mind, spirituality versus practicality, logic versus intuition, and all of those things. So you'll see these themes continuing to come up and getting stronger. And that's not going away for a long time. But one element that's being added that is new is the house placement of the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle, because that is what's activating now. And this is where it gets really deeply into the succulent soul retrieval that I've been dancing around and kind of giving you some layers of. Because from now into 2027, it's going to be very much about you finding that soul calling, you honoring that soul calling, and you expressing and retrieving your soul basically through location and expression of your heart song. So your creative efforts are really going to have a boost. This also has to do with your romantic relationships. This has to do with children. This has to do with pleasures and could be also addictions. This can have to do with, you know, how you show up in a community with your gifts and how you balance what society tells you need to do versus what you feel like you need to do. So all of that is going to be coming on very strong. Okay, so I've given you quite a few dates to be noteworthy for this time. If you want more dates, and actually what I'm going to go in now is kind of closing out all of you who are not going to carry on to my visuals. If you're waiting for the visuals, just give me a minute to close everyone else out here. So if you're not moving on to the visual portion, go to AnnieHelpsYou.com, put your name and email address in there, get my write-up for August 2024 with my sweet and salty dates, my favorite dates of the month, other things I haven't mentioned yet, and the salty dates. We have so many salty dates. It's kind of like a record amount of salty dates this month. They're nuisance aspects more than anything, just like bump annoying, bump annoying, bump annoying, but I have them all outlined there. When you sign up, you'll get a welcome letter, go to the archive link, and then put August 2024 astrology in the archive search, and you will find it. I'm also doing a very rare double blue moon promo in honor of the fact that we have 2 blue moons in a row. So basically, when you register for my astrology certification course, you get all of the other courses in my school for free. So you can see that by going directly to beastropro.com, or you can click on up level once you're at AnnieHelpsYou.com. The up level button will take you there. Okay, so goodbye to all of you. I'll see you next month if you're not staying on for the visuals. If you're staying on for the visuals, I'll pop those in now. Okay, so I'm going to give you some quick visuals of the things we talked about. We've got the Sun, Vesta, Venus, and then Mercury when it goes in retrograde, plus the new moon on August 4th, 12 degrees of Leo, all lighting up your 10th house of work, career, and your place out in the world. This Leo energy does make a challenged angle in a way with your Scorpio energy, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. It could just mean the pressure's on to accomplish something great, or that you have your hands full, or that you're busy with these things. And you could be creating something very exciting and fulfilling at this time. Venus will then move, the sun will then move into Virgo, highlighting your 11th house of not only your friendships and groups, but also your big dreams. I didn't mention that earlier. See, those of you who stay on for the visual, you get some extra goodies because I think of stuff that I didn't mention. So your big dreams, not the ones you have at night, but like in life. So you've got Venus, the money bringer, flooding there. You've got the sun, the expander, bringing the energy there. And that's lighting up really strongly. That 11th house energy is also coming on super strongly with that on August 19th, with that full moon, super moon, blue moon at 27 degrees of Aquarius. And so that's in the sign of Aquarius. This is the house of Aquarius, but they're both getting accentuated there. The full moon is accentuating your house of home, family, and housing and real estate. So look for fullness completion, once at the blue moon opportunities or situations there. Jupiter is here in your 8th house of Scorpio, expanding with your luck, money luck for a long time. The Aries Libra eclipse cycle has been highlighting your 6th and 12th houses, which are the same houses that are ruled by Virgo and Pisces respectively. So that is something you've been working with since 2023 at the same time as the me-we polarity of the Aries Libra itself. Now that energy of Pisces Virgo is coming in even more strongly starting now this month as we begin a new cycle in Pisces Virgo eclipses that will light up your 5th and 11th houses for a long time to come. Your succulent soul retrieval in remembering what you came here for and what you came here to express can be activated, and your commitment to bringing these things through can be strong and strengthened. Giving you a lot of dates, but if you want more, get them through my write-up at anniehelpsyou.com. Once you get there, put your name and email address, click receive. That will take you to the archive, or you'll get the welcome letter, either in your spam or social folders or your inbox. Click the archive link, put August 2024 astrology, and you will see all of the sweet and salty dates. And there are quite a few salty dates, but some really nice aspects also that we didn't get into, and just a full write-up for the month, including more info on that blue moon and the eclipses. Then as you scroll down here, you can see my double blue moon promo by clicking on up level. That will take you to my school. Then click on my Astrology Certification Course, and you will see the details of how, when you register for my Astrology Certification Course, you get all of the other courses in my whole school for free with this double blue moon promo. And that runs until, I think, around August 28th, like towards the end of August. So take full advantage of that by going to anniehelpsyou.com, scrolling down, clicking on up level, going to the Astrology Certification Course, or you can go directly to beastropro.com. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.